Lords of Sin is a dark and brutal Dungeons & Dragons narrative play intended for adults and adults only. Specific content warnings can be found in the episode descriptions. Rise up, sinners. Lords of Sin is back.
An enormous explosion as the pit fiend dies to Jaeger's hand, returning banished to the hells. Jaeger, lying still on the ground, the light behind his visor flickering feebly. Well, now seems as good a time as any to finally get my hands dirty. And at the end of Jaeger's turn, which is where we still are in the initiative order, Baalzebul will use his legendary action to cast Chromatic Orb. A sphere of lightning, and launches it straight at the fallen form of Jaeger. Now, there's good news here. And that is, Jaeger, because you are prone, he has disadvantage on this. But with an 18 and a 15 on the die, he will hit. The exact damage doesn't matter. That is one failed death save. Right off the bat.
Marking it down.
One thing I will note before we jump in. Val, you know the setup of the ramparts of the grasp. There are trunks near each of the ballistas, crates, that do contain items, resources, and that typically includes potions of healing. The nearest ballista to you still has an ice devil between you and it, but is about 100 feet away. And also between you and the ballista is the dying form of Violet. And that brings us to Shin. Our initiative order, just a reminder because we're sticking with the same, is Shin, then Kalista, then Korrin, then Valkerie, then Lorwryn, and Jaeger is at a 4. So, Shin, you still have Rangal right in front of you, who is still apparently charmed. Baalzebul is still in the air and is flying about 85 feet away from you.
Shin sees all these things happen in slow motion. He sees Jaeger go down, he sees Baalzebul target him. And the absolute fear and pain from all of his failures that have led up to this moment, the thing, all the failures of all of him, and now for him, a young soul has just dropped, and he could do nothing to prevent it. He looks at Rengar in his face, and he's like, "You weak-minded fool. One of mine has fallen because you were too weak to withstand pride.
He fell because you resisted.
If I survive this, or if I don't, I hold you responsible." And I step of the wind, do not care if I proc a attack of opportunity, and I close the distance over to Jaeger, and I will use my action to try to stabilize. I will position my body in between him and Baalzebul, and I will begin to, because he's not a normal a normal body. But Shin does have some medical training, and at least enough that I'm going to start in my own way pumping my key into him to try to stabilize the soul attached to this to this mechanical body.
Okay. All you need to stabilize someone is a 10.
I fail.
A 7.
We have luck points too.
Oh, I do. I do have 3 luck points. 3 luck points would get me there, right? Do we start with 3?
You do start with 3.
Then I dump. So I notice that it's not quite what I'm familiar with and she's like, no, I will not. I will not concede this. If I save only one, this is the one I will save. And spectral wings erupt out of his body and crash into Jaeger. And I use all 3 of my luck points to stabilize him.
It's less medicine and more simply, like you said, the channeling of your life force, the willing of this soul to remain. And, Jaeger, you felt your awareness of this place flickering away. But as Shin does this, you feel this surge of draconic energy pouring into your being. And though still unable to move well, because you and I talked about some options that you have available while you are unconscious and making death saves, and those still are on the table, though if you did any of those, at this point it would take you back to dying. You feel this surge of energy, and your soul, whatever it is that was built into you, no longer being pulled away from your shell. Baalzebul is going to use a legendary action to move, and starts to fly closer to where you and Shin are. Still not over the ramparts, but now only about 10 feet away from the edge of the rampart. Still up in the air, higher.
Kalista falls to her knees in front of Jaeger's face. And much the same as when Jaeger was first born, she's going to place a hand on Jaeger's cheek. Jaeger, you are more to me than you realized. More than the pride you bring me as a mother to a child. More than the proof that we walk amongst the gods, for if they create the souls, I created yours. But your job is not done. Your purpose is not fulfilled until our sky is brought back to where it once sat. I do this for you, and the hopes it helps us all. I'm going to use a 5th level Wither and Bloom. So I'll take 5d10 of psychic damage, and I need you to roll 4 hit dice, Jaeger. And you will be healed for 4 hit dice.
Oh god, that was so awesome.
Before you all do anything, before you take any of that damage or do any of that healing, Baalzebul is going to use a reaction. He's going to cast Counterspell.
I will use a 4th level spell slot to cast Counterspell. So it would just Counterspell as Counterspell. So I'll take even more damage.
Yeah, you will take 9d10 points of necrotic damage right now as he starts to reach forward, and you with one hand casting Wither and Bloom and casting the other as you negate his counterspell. He just sees it fizzle and just looks to watch and see what happens.
I have 47 hit points. So, as she is casting this Wither and Bloom, and this warmth comes from her palm, just as that counterspell flicks out the flick of her wrist, the counterspell fizzles, and she falls into a unconscious heap on the floor.
As you cast Counterspell with your left hand, your right hand still continuing to do the motions, the gestures for Wither and Bloom. As you cast Counterspell, your hand from the fingers up to the wrist, up to the elbow, and nearing your shoulder joint, your arm decays. Your fingers with no flesh left around the bone. And as you succeed on casting Wither and Bloom, the same thing happens to your right arm, but even more as it courses up across your chest, those tattoos that you have becoming covered with necrosis, with rot. As it reaches your chest and reaches your heart, you double over.
I still have a little golden bird in the center of my chest. I still have a death ward.
You do.
So as the necrosis reaches that bird, it's as if it pulses across her skin. Just a second, like the flutter of a wing. Remind me again what death ward does.
It keeps you at 1 hit point instead of 0. Because with those 9d10, you dealt 55 damage to yourself and you had 47 left. And so as the rot begins to reach your heart, as this golden bird, the flutter of wings, it forms a magical bird cage around your heart, inside your chest, but not a cage to keep something in, a cage to keep something out. And you stay conscious at 1 hit point. How many hit points did Jaeger recover there?
20.
So before we get to Shin, Jaeger, the light from behind your visor pulses and then glows strong once again. You feel your purpose. You feel yourself return to your body, and you see the rotted, ghoulish body in some places of your creator, of Kalista, right in front of you.
Jaeger's hand starts to move up and reaching towards Kalista.
And a very powerful elderly hand grabs the top of your armor and pulls you to his face. Rise, you fool. I am a foolish old man, and I have done nothing but screw everything up since I've existed. But the world still needs Kalistas. Get up, grab her, and run. I will buy you time. I am so sorry, Jaeger. But protect her.
As he starts leaning up, he just locks eyes with Shin, and after a second, one of his eyeless eyes behind the visor winks and starts to get up and turn towards Kalista.
Kalista is going to, leaning heavily on Jaeger's shoulder, or on Jaeger's knee, or whatever's closest, stand again. She's going to use her bonus action to break the ring of shared suffering, the bond. She's going to turn to Shin. Do what you can, Shin. And know that I forgive you. And she is going to run off the ramparts behind the wall, in the hopes that you'll use slow fall on her, otherwise she's totally going to hit the floor.
Slow fall.
Okay. Yep. Totally works. You cast the spell, see that Jaeger is brought back to the fight, and run and jump towards the courtyard inside the grasp. Slow fall, slowing your descent. Korrin, you are up, and Valkerie, you're the next PC on deck.
Well, there was just a whole telenovela happening behind me, but that's all right. My baby boy's up. She just jumped. I don't know what's going on, but all I know is that you're in my terror radius. So guess what? You flying sack of shit. Throwing my axe. And you're within 55 feet. To set this precedent, does a 28 hit?
Yes, it does.
Thank God. Okay, we're setting precedent. Give me a second. Doing math. That's 27 points for that first attack. 32. Let's go. All right.
Yeah, I'll hit.
26 points of damage. And I'm going to do Cloud Strike. Extra 1d4 thunder damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a wisdom saving roll of DC 19, or you'll become invisible to it until the start of your next turn, or immediately after you make an attack or cast a spell.
That's a 30.
All right, whatever.
But still takes that thunder damage.
54, though. Take it. 4 thunder damage.
Hey, max damage.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 attacks as you throw your axe. It spins like a buzzsaw, cutting into the angelic form of Baalzebul until it returns to your hand with a thunderclap.
Roar.
That brings up the remaining Ice Devil, which is still tangling with Draven the Clawbound and Valkerie the Clawbound. First 2 attacks are coming at Valkerie. 25 to hit Valkerie for 29 total damage. That is piercing and cold. As it turns and with the long tail, a 13 will miss. So as it jumps on, grabs you and bites you and you pull away, it tries to lash out at you with its tail, unable to make contact with the second attack. And on Draven, 15 will miss him by 1. So, misses 2 out of 3 attacks. Chittering pain sounds here. And Valkerie, you are up.
All right. I'm going to hit the shit out of that thing with my sword.
Makes
it attacked
sense to me.
I'm going to attack it bad. All right. 25. So that is 10 plus 4 fire damage, and then it...
Could you please paint me a picture as to how you finish off this Ice Devil that had 2 hit points left?
So the Ice Devil comes at me, and it hits me pretty hard. And so you see Val use the blunt of the back of her sword. She pushes it back and then slashes into it. She cuts it down. And then you just see her continuing to hit it over and over again after it's dead on the ground. Not even... because it's not registering to her at this point that it's gone.
There's a point where you are just screaming enraged, slashing into the snow-covered stone as the body of this Ice Devil just dissolves away into pieces of ice. And the wall of ice that it had formed, separating Valkerie, Draven, and Violet from everyone else, disappears.
I'm gonna run over to Violet. No! 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 And she's not responsive at this point, right? She's just completely...
She's responsive. She's just...
Okay.
She has had her throat sliced by this devil. And her eyelids are heavy, but she opens them seeing you. Well?
No.
Did we win?
Yeah, we won. We did. We won. And then I'm gonna run to the ramparts to try to get, because I know that there's a couple healing potions there, hopefully.
Okay.
Because I don't have anything on me.
Use the remainder of your movement to go running that direction to try to find a health potion. That is going to bring up Baalzebul, or at the end of your turn, Baalzebul is going to use his final legendary action to teleport to the opposite side of the ramparts from where he is. So, Kalista, as you go jumping over and floating down, you see about 15 feet overhead, Baalzebul materialize near where Lorwryn and Kalista currently are. This is getting a little bit tiresome. And is going to, on his turn, use his movement, flies down to where Kalista has just landed on the ground, and is going to, with the staff that he is holding, make some attacks. He is going to use a feature called Pride of the Fallen. This gives him advantage on all attack rolls, saving throws, and checks until the start of his next turn. It also gives you all advantage on attack rolls against him until the start of his next turn. First attack on Kalista. 23?
Yeah, that still hits.
Did he hit you on a nat 1?
No, he had advantage. He had advantage.
Oh, I was like, what?
25 psychic damage. Your charisma is also reduced by 2.
Well, she is unconscious again. And is that like a permanent change or temporary?
It lasts until you take a rest.
Okay.
Baalzebul descends and just delivers a brutal strike with his staff, just right to your chest, and you feel that birdcage that had been formed around your heart shatter. And you fall to the ground. Is then going to fly, get within 15 feet of Korrin. Actually, no, he's not. Yet. Before moving towards Korrin, he makes one more attack at Kalista. It's with advantage because you are incapacitated. That is a hit. That is a crit. That is 2 failed death saves to you, Kalista. He then flies within 15 feet of Korrin after knocking Kalista to the ground, and then just makes this second attack on Kalista. There's a sickening crack, and Kalista, you are aware of it. Blinding pain as you feel this Archdevil who has gotten where he is through planning. Know that it is smart to finish the job.
She falls and feels that birdcage shatter in her chest. And there's just a satisfied smile on her face as she looks up at Jaeger on the ramparts.
I'm going to make a perception check for Baalzebul really quick. I want to see if he sees that.
No.
I'll give him disadvantage because he's in combat. 25.
Plus 15 to his perception?
Archdevil. His CR is 27. He's a ruler of one of the circles of hell, specifically the 7th. Yeah.
I should have kept that crown on, guys. I could have been that powerful.
As he starts to fly away, and you smile. Oh. You think you've won something. Allow me to disillusion you. And is instead going to make his next attack on Jaeger.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Still with advantage from Pride of the Fallen. Crit.
Now we will silver
Use the silver barbs.
But Jaeger's built really well. Crits don't affect him.
Adamantine armor.
Thanks, mommy.
he built different.
Yep, it was there. It was there. We were all thinking it. So, Lorwryn, knowing that the crit on Jaeger doesn't have a different effect, and knowing that silvery barbs doesn't make me reroll both, it makes me reroll the highest. Do you still want to use it?
Well, I've already clicked it, but
You can take it back.
no.
Okay, so he will hit, not crit. So let's see what this damage is before I roll this. How many hit points do you have left, Jaeger?
20.
This is 4d6 plus 8 damage. It can do enough. It also very easily can do less than 20. That is 22 points of psychic damage to you, Jaeger, and your charisma is reduced by 4.
It's psychic damage?
It is psychic damage.
Can it be force instead?
It can be, and isn't.
Okay. Jaeger didn't even register Baalzebul and was just looking at his little bird fallen. And he just gets impaled and falls again.
This is what happens when you resist the inevitable. I have implored all of you to join me. Minimize the casualties. The option still stands, for I am generous. Throw down your weapons now. You may save your friends, save yourselves, and save countless others. I do not wish for unnecessary bloodshed.
Too late for that.
The choice is yours.
Not really. It's not really ours, is it?
Of course it is.
No. See, you think that you have free will, but you don't. You and I both know this is not your true form. Tell me, how many waters have you fought in?
More than you.
No. Because you are not a strategist. We killed your strategist.
You killed she, or rather, you stopped she who thought herself a strategist. How is it working out for you now?
Tell me, did you leave the door unlocked back home?
Just continues to beat his wings.
What is it that you said to me in the throne room? And she'll go to walk away and shadow step. And before she does, she'll turn back and just smile and go, knock, knock.
And where do you shadow step to?
Out of sight from him. I want him to think and know that he fucked up. He left the throne alone.
Love it. That brings up Orion, the clawbound, who is going to start reloading the ballista. Violet has to make a death save. I will roll this publicly. That's a success. Whew. That brings up Laura, who is going to use her action to aim the ballista, and we'll be able to fire it next round. Val, could you please make me a perception check? Let's say with disadvantage here because you are focused on running towards the trunk of equipment.
Oh, well, I got a nat 1.
What's your total?
2.
Oh, yeah, never mind. You hear the gasps of Violet behind you. And you quicken your pace. Wrangle on his turn. This fight is over. Our job, Clawbound, is to save lives. There's only one way to save them now. And he throws down his sword. I'm going to make a check for a couple of the Clawbound. Valkerie, from behind you hear Draven. Fuck that. Those of you closer to Orion and Ilara hear, Ryan, what are you doing? We can't simply stop!
You heard, Ringo. We have to... This is how we save people.
Jaeger, you are up. And before you roll a death save, do remember, and I want to remind that we talked about some options of things that you can do even while unconscious. Stealing this from some other people's house rules, including Critical Role and others like Blaze of Glory. For one death save, you can give someone, one of your allies, the help action. That is for one guaranteed death save. For two, you can take the attack action from where you are, or cast a cantrip. For three, as in for guaranteeing killing yourself, you can make your full movement and your attack action or a leveled spell that does not target you. So in other words, you cannot use 3 death saves to heal yourself and counter those 3 death saves because you'll be dead by the process. Those are options that are available to you right now. Or you can simply roll your death save.
I think Jaeger is going to hold on to life a little longer, attempt to, and roll a death save.
Okay. Reminder, you can use inspiration and luck points on death saves.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to use inspiration? And I'm going to ask that every time whether you succeed or fail.
I will not use inspiration.
Okay. That brings us to Draven, who is going to run over to Violet and try to stabilize. Has a +2 on his medicine check. A 7. The blood is just pouring as he tries to pull gauze out, his hand shaking, even all the training of the Clawbound becoming a little unsure in this situation, but he tries.
Hurry, Val! Hurry! She doesn't have long.
He doesn't know she succeeded on her death save. That brings us to Shin. Kalista is on deck, and then Korrin.
Shin sees all this go down. Like he sees Kalista fall. He sees, like, he was healing, and, you know, he was on top of trying to protect Jaeger, and then he sees Baalzebul teleport, take out Kalista, and then impale Jaeger. And his eyes are so wide, and he looks to Korrin. And Korrin, what you see, what was once silvery, like a silvery glow around where his spectral wings, starts to turn red. And his veins start to pulse. And you recognize the vestiges emerging of rage, of a barbarian past long buried. And Shin lets out a guttural scream to God, primal, raging scream, and Shin launches himself at Baalzebul, just jumps at him and grabs him with his legs and starts pummeling him in his face, completely and utterly without abandon. And I'm going to attack him as many times as I possibly can.
You also have advantage on all of these attacks because he used Pride of the Fall.
So that's 22 to hit for the first one.
22 is 1 shy.
I will give him a luck point by roaring with him to boost his draconic rage.
That takes 2 of your luck points to boost him by 1.
Do it. I'll take it.
A bellow from your ally distracts Baalzebul just a millisecond as he was coming to block your attack. His eyes just flicker to the source of the sound, and that is all the opportunity that you need. Go ahead and roll that damage.
So that's going to be a 9, and I'm going to make that a stunning strike.
Okay, that tracks to me. Con save. He succeeds with an 18.
I'm going to strike him again. That's a 29.
That'll hit. Yeah.
Stunning strike.
He needs a nat 1 to fail this. He's gotten a 2 and a 3. He needs a nat 1. And you said 11 points of damage. Okay.
Yep.
All right, that's 2 attacks.
I'm going to flurry of blows him. So 2 more.
And again, remember to roll with advantage in case you crit.
Oh, that's
you
right.
Have advantage.
That's 31 on the dice.
That hits. Well, not on the die, but yeah, that'll hit.
31, sorry. 19 on the die, excuse me. That's 12 points.
Heck yeah, man. 3 hits so far.
That's 23.
Meet to beat, and he will use his reaction to cast Shield. So as you come in for this 4th punch, just impacts 3 inches away from his face.
What? No witty retort. No personal jab.
How's this? At the end of your turn, he uses a legendary action to cast a spell. And a ball of poison forms in his hand. I can kill her now, Shin. Or you can end this pointless crusade and join me. 5.
I will come back 1,000 lifetimes until I've made you suffer. I will rule hell if I have to. And I will kill you over and over for eternity. I swear this.
I wish you the best of luck. But you won't do it before I kill her. And launches this at Kalista. Kalista is prone, which gives disadvantage. He still has advantage, so this is a flat attack.
This is a spell, right?
It is a spell. That's a 2 on the die for a 19.
Armor class is 18.
If anyone would like to do anything, now is the time. Kalista, before it impacts you, I sincerely hope, Kalista Liavet, that is the memory you take with you into the 7th. That Shin chose his pride over you.
And Shin looks at Kalista as she's about to die. And I use my monologue coin on Kalista.
Incredible memory of that little tool we have. Kalista, you know what is about to happen. What are your final thoughts?
As her eyes meet with Shin's, she finally lets go of her pride. And her final thoughts are a prayer to Saloon. that in her death, her sister will find the strength to rebuild what this world has lost. That in her death, her sister will learn to walk again. Will learn to stand on her own. And will not let this break the only part that matters. Her heart. Her final moments will be spent doing something she has never done before. Reaching out to the gods. Desperate. That maybe they can look upon this world and see something worth saving.
Your final breath is an inhalation of razor blades as the sphere of poison impacts you. And the last thing you hear is a voice in your head. You should have prayed to me. As life leaves you. Lorwryn, on your turn, you hadn't used, or at least announced what your action was. Would you like to, because it's particularly relevant in this moment, would you like to describe what you now do with your held action?
She banshee stepped or shadow stepped away from Baalzebul, making him think that she was just going away, bluff her way through all of this. But what she was really doing was getting out of line of sight and getting away to cast contact other plane. Calling home, essentially. She's reaching out to Lolth.
You hear chittering in your mind. My daughter.
I know I ask so much of you. All of the time. I know that I have caused you pain in the past as well. But I come to ask an ultimate favor for you. There is one I adore. If she is to fall today, please bring her home. And I'll be there soon.
She has fallen to the Lord of Flies. You ask much of your mother. But to steal from Baalzebul, my web will catch her soul first.
Thank you.
Die well, my daughter, and return to my embrace.
As always, in your service, Mother. I love you too. And with that, she'll steel herself, peek around the corner at the fight that's continuing to happen, and at that point, she's watching Shin beat the ever-loving shit out of Baalzebul right before he puts up everything.
Then we cut to Korrin as we resume the initiative order with Valkerie on deck.
Well, watching Kalista just get liquefied at this point, oh man, her rage begins to get hotter. The spots from her being in Avernus start to glow. That full tilt rage that she had when Kalista brought her back. That level of, you feel that heat. And we're going to swing. And by swing, I mean yeet that motherfucker. Ah, fuck me. Okay, that didn't hit.
Just as you throw your axe, knocks it to the side with his staff, and it just goes off course, returning to your hand.
That hits 31. Let's go.
That hits, but roll again. Roll again to see if you crit. Roll again to see if you crit.
31. Times.
Twice in a row. It was meant to be.
Hit that shit. 27 points of damage. And you know what? Take a 1d4 of thunder, and we're going to do that shit again. Roll for DC 19. Wisdom.
Wisdom save. Okay.
Even if it doesn't fucking work, I get...
That's a 17 on the die.
Oh, shit! So you don't see me anymore! Bye, bitch!
No, 17 on the die,
God
my
damn
friend.
it.
On the die. That's a 32.
I was like, what? Yeah, okay, fuck it, whatever.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'll announce the totals so that doesn't happen again.
I got excited.
Great news.
What?
Great news, everybody. By 1, Baalzebul is officially bloodied. So half hit points.
With all of that rage that I threw into that axe is the fact that he just took my friend from me. Even though Kalista and Korrin butted heads, we were still friends and allies. And you took one of my babies away from me. And I don't like that.
That will then bring up Valkerie.
Valkyrie's gonna be really boring and just run to the ballista because that's all I can do this turn. I'm technically trying to get to the healing potions, which I assume are located.
You get to them with your standard movement. They are right on the edge of the circular part of the ramparts, the tower section, where the ballista is located. You, with free object interaction, throw open the crate here, and you find 1 potion of superior healing, which is 8d4 plus 8, and you find 3 potions of greater healing, which is 4d4 plus 4. So a total of 4 healing potions in there, along with arrows, replacement daggers, gauze, holy water, standard fare. But you do find healing potions.
Okay, I'm gonna take, obviously all of that. I'm gonna take the healing water and just drink some because I'm really fucking thirsty.
Which of the potions are you taking?
I'm drinking the holy water.
Well, that doesn't heal you.
No, I'm just really parched.
Oh, cool, fair, yeah. No, it's tiring up here. Yeah, you've been working hard. You got, absolutely.
We have a sponsorship with Gatorade. There's Gatorade in this universe.
So I'm really parched right now. And then I'm going to, the rest of my movement, I'm going to run back.
Okay.
Because I know that I heard, the last thing I remember hearing is her gasping. So
that just took your movement and your free object interaction, which means you still have your action and bonus action. Because drinking the holy water, since that was purely narrative in that moment, I'm not going to count that as your action or bonus action.
Can you make it back to her? Is that possible, or?
Do I make it back to her?
Yes, you do. With your movement? Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give her 1 potion of greater healing. She gets 1.
Okay.
And I'm just going to, when you're going to see me pull it out, and I'm just going to tip it into her mouth. Just trying to get her to get back up.
She coughs and then her wounds knit and she snaps back into awareness. Well? Fuck.
Just stay down. Stay.
Is it over?
Right here.
Did we win?
Don't move. Yeah, we won. We won, but you have to get back. So
Draven
you
just
can't...
starts pulling her to the side to lean her against the rampart. Go, Val. Finish this.
I'll be back. And then she starts her movement to leave.
Beautiful. Now, that brings up Baalzebul, who is going to... Well, Shin, you're right in his face.
Yep. Let's do it.
He is going to, at the beginning of his turn, use Pride of the Fallen, giving himself an advantage on everything, and giving you all advantage on attack rolls against him. Pride takes the risk. 28 on the first attack against you.
Okay.
26 psychic damage, and your charisma score is reduced by 1d4 for 4. Second attack, 30 to hit. 17 points of psychic damage and a further reduction to your charisma of 3.
Can it go below 0? Because that is that a thing?
0 is dead.
Oh, okay, so
0 of any of your stats is dead. Not dying, for the record. Dead. One more attack. 27. The other wasn't that one, but 27 to hit. Last bit of damage to you here, Shin. 21 more points of psychic damage, and 2 more points of charisma damage. As these hits impact you, you already felt your monk training begin to be overwhelmed by an older nature. And with this drop in your charisma, your awareness of yourself, your idea of yourself, melts away with every attack, and you sink further and further and further into that rage. Baalzebul is not even going to use his movement and is going to stay put. Lorwryn, that brings you up. Jaeger, you're the next PC on deck.
Hey, Shin, you got a thing where, like, if you make a deck save, you just don't take damage, right?
I think so.
Yeah, you have evasion.
From the shadows. And she is going to cast Meteor Swarm.
Holy shit! Okay.
If we're going out in a literal blaze of glory.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give my friends as fighting of a chance as they possibly can.
Okay. Holy.
That's so fucking sick.
Fucking let's go.
So that is a 40-foot radius.
The thing I'm going to try to do is keep, like, Korrin and stuff like that out of it.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to keep the radius.
You can, of course, position it so that it only hits Baalzebul if you just aim it far enough to the north.
So, yeah.
Okay. You cast fucking Meteor Swarm, a 9th level spell. Which means, before we have you roll your 9d10, let's resolve the Meteor Swarm, because that's cool.
She is doing she steps out, and she sees balls still there, floating in the air. Shin still engaged with him. She sees the fight going south. And she starts the incantation and moving her hands and making the spell. And right as she's sitting done doing it, she just kind of whispers, "See you soon." And then she reaches up to the heavens, makes a grabbing motion, and then just starts to pull down with everything she's got to literally pull the meteors out of the sky.
The sky above Baalzebul cracks and opens, revealing stars. But not like the stars that you see in the sky, closer. And you reach through that rift in space, pulling rocks from outer space through this rift to come slamming down. Baalzebul looks up, his 2 angelic wings arching above himself to try to reduce this damage. He has to make a dexterity saving throw. This is a spell, so he has advantage, but I'll let you know. First of all, he takes half damage no matter what, even if he succeeds. And dex is his lowest save. 18 on the die with advantage for a total of 30. So he'll take this half damage, but let's roll a total of 40d6 points of damage. Jesus.
So it's 85 bludgeoning damage.
Oh. Okay.
And 70 fire damage.
They're both halved because he succeeded. So, from the 85 bludgeoning damage, takes 43, rounding up. From the 70, 35, then cut in half again to 18, rounding up. There are 4 impacts as you pull 4 meteors into this world. Each one impacting into the shield of wings that Baalzebul has created, and he gets knocked down about 5 feet with every strike. But then, as the final one detonates on him, Baalzebul remains. And now, I need 9 d10 points of necrotic damage to Lorwryn.
44.
44.
Still up.
Still up, baby! Orion passes his turn because he has tossed down his weapon and is just shouting at Ilara, who uses her turn to defy what her fellow Clawbound has said, defy her commander, and is going to launch a bolt from the ballista here and try to hit Baalzebul. As it goes sailing towards Baalzebul, he catches it and launches this enormous bolt of this ballista back towards Ilara, and it impacts just a couple feet from where she is. And you see her resolve start to shake, but she begins the process of reloading the ballista by herself. Val, could you make me another perception check, please? This one is not at disadvantage.
Got another 1. I'm really not perceiving anything.
Well, you're perceiving a lot. It's just not this. You are focused on what is happening, and that is what you should be. You should be dialed into the moment. It makes sense. Rangal starts to turn to walk back towards where Val, Violet, and Draven are. Jaeger.
Is Baalzebul's spear still stuck in Jaeger?
No.
Or does he have it back?
Oh, no, he never threw it. He hit you with it.
Oh.
He has a 15-foot
What a
reach.
dick. I think Jaeger is going to slowly flip over onto his chest and puts his giant metal hand towards the hole that has been created and looks up at Korrin and starts to try and stand up and has to get to one knee and then uses the trident to raise himself up and looks around, seeing just this massive explosion erupt right next to him. And he's gonna look at Lady Korrin. Back at the tree, you asked what I wanted to be. I think I want to be the reason she sees the light again. And he's gonna fall off the wall, almost stumbling like he was trying to walk there, but just with everything completely tumbles, hitting the roof and the side of any building next to it, and collapses right next to Kalista, and gets over her and puts his shield down, blocking Baalzebul, and plants the trident in a very protective stance and the light behind his visor starts to fade as one of the diamonds rolls out onto her, and the oath to Saloon flashes. And he casts Revivify.
Doing this takes more of you than there is remaining in your body. Jaeger, under the protection of your shield, blocking line of sight of Baalzebul, preventing a counterspell, as you see Kalista's eyes flutter open. What is the last thing you think or say?
I don't think he says anything other than his whole body kind of slumps slightly, but remaining in a statuesque state over her. And all he thinks of is a little golden bird flying off.
You, as you see Kalista's eyes open, you don't think of a little golden bird, Jaeger. You see one. You see it lift from her chest and flutter into the air. And I think we see your visor follow its flight as the light behind it winks out, and you freeze in place.
Jaeger.
Kalista, you had the strangest image, strangest experience. You felt something inviting you to fall. And you heard a voice in your head.
I will catch you. Do not fear the dark.
And your eyes flutter open, bleary vision just in time to see Jaeger trace something with his vision that is not there, and the light go out.
No. Oh, gods, no. What have you done? What have you done, Jaeger?
How touching. Not that it'll matter.
Shin, as he's had his charisma just battered down to a -4, a 3 right now. Inside, his mind is dark, as most of him has been pushed out, but in those moments, when all of you is gone, the animal takes over. What you are instinctually takes over. And in the second that he feels the small light of warmth that was Jaeger's fading soul leave this world, Shin feels his past. The rage consumes him conscious thought, his hand using a Kai point, because I asked you if I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
His hand, quicker with the reflexes of instinct, takes the crown of Zariel and places upon his head. And crimson red fire erupts from his body, and he jumps and grabs Baalzebul. Shocking grasp first. His hands, the lightning is not natural, it's unnatural. Just crackles in his hands as he grabs Baalzebul by the throat, using shocking grasp.
Okay. You have advantage because of something Baalzebul did, but also while attuned to this crown, which you are automatically upon putting it on your head, you have advantage on all attacks. Period. As the crown touches your head, you feel something black begin to wrap around your heart. You feel that you are no longer alone in your own mind.
As it wraps around Shin's heart wraps around it, fuses into it, almost like a hunger clawing at it, pulling it into his person, into his soul, into his person, into his being. And Shin, devoid of conscious thought, is now a tool of war. That's going to be a 27 to hit with a shocking grasp.
He's going to use shield, which raises his AC to 28. So you do have a luck point, though.
I'll use my one luck point. Is it meet to beat?
That is meet to beat.
So what he sees is Shin comes and he casts shield, and then you notice this black, crimson flames that's black and darkest red pierce through them, and he crashes through the shield. Not yet, little man! Strangles him, and black lightning floods into his throat as he deals 24 points of lightning damage. And then, as he's strangling him, open up his mouth, and he's going to use augmented breath to do Breath of the Dragon. It's a 17, which he's probably going to make.
Well, he could have very easily failed it. He does get a 27 in total. So he succeeds, but if memory serves, he still takes half.
And that's going to be 27 points of lightning damage.
27, halved to 14, rounding up, and because he has resistance to lightning, halved once again. As you reach and grab and just breathe lightning straight into him.
Good, Shin. This is exactly what I knew you were capable of. Join me.
And his face is just a foot from yours as he says this.
There is still time to save them, Shin. Still time to save them all. But this is your last chance. I can even remove that pesky artifact from your head.
In the eyes, you see fire.
I will rip you from your throne, and I will sodomize your soul for eternity.
Graphic? You sound more like Glasia right now.
Kalista, you are up. You have 1 hit point.
Jaeger, you idiot. She's going to remain hidden by Jaeger. She's going to cast Chill Touch on Baalzebul, because I do not need to see him. 22?
You have advantage.
Oh, sweet. I got 22 again, but I'm just going to use one of my luck points to bring it up to meets it at 23. What Shin and anyone who sees him will see is a hand that looks incredibly like Kalista's does now. Her skin had been basically rotted from her hand, so it is a bony hand, and the markings are on the bones, as if the tattoos are engraved directly into the bone. And it's going to claw across Baalzebul's chest.
Oh, 1 second. As this hand approaches Baalzebul, this skeletal, raking hand, he diverts his attention from Shin for just a moment and gives the smallest flick of his wrist. And it simply goes away. Baalzebul has a type of magic immunity that makes him immune to spells below a certain level unless he wants to be affected by them. He has previously allowed you all to get through spells of certain levels. He is quite prideful after all. But no longer is he going to tolerate that. And as it approaches his chest, he just flicks it, and it's gone.
That is all I can do right now.
Korrin, could you please make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
7.
Okay. Do we want to stick there, use inspiration, anything like that?
I'm fucking afraid. So, like, I don't... This could go bad if I don't. You know what? Fucking use inspiration again to reroll. 12, man. 12.
Baalzebul locks eyes with you.
This is your one opportunity to save more of your friends, Korrin. Surrender. Work with me and get them to do the same. And all of you and your husband will live.
This is the spell Suggestion.
What level spell is up?
Oh god, Suggestion, 2nd level.
Counterspell.
What level?
3rd.
So, I'm going to, because this is a tough fight, I'm going to give you all a look behind the screen here so that you can make an informed decision. Limited magic immunity, not full magic immunity, limited magic immunity affects spells 3rd level and below, which means a standard leveled counterspell cannot affect him. If you wish to upcast it, it can.
4th it is, then.
Okay. Could you roll me 4d10 necrotic damage for yourself as you sever the connection that was being formed between Korrin and Baalzebul, the words that were starting to infest her mind like worms in a fetid corpse. And you sever the connection. What's the cost to you, Lorwryn?
19 hit points. And much like he did to somebody, I also go.
You hear these words, Korrin, but you also feel the presence of Lorwryn. You feel that connection that was there, and you feel it severed as if sliced by one of her blades. That now brings you up, Korrin.
Okay. First off, we're going to go ahead and use our bonus action first to change the element in her axe. And what she is going to do is one, like you kind of saw her kind of relax herself and drop her axe to focus in on him, but due to Lorwryn's, the color in her eyes return. The blue flame that is within her covers her eyes again, and all you hear is thunder. She scrapes her axe in a circular motion towards her, around her, changing it from lightning to just thunder. You see it change in the axe, and she is going to throw it at this motherfucker. Ooh, that's not gonna hit. That 27 will hit though.
27 won't at the moment because the shield is still in effect from when he used that, which brought it to a 28.
Points? Anybody?
Anybody got?
Can I use them even if I'm dead?
No, sir. I'm sorry.
Son of a bitch.
Danny.
I still have 2, so I'm going to give my 2 for Lorwryn to have 1.
For Korrin to have 1, yeah? Okay, so that takes it to a 28, which will beat his current AC.
I'm
Correct.
also going to use my Violent Attraction because it's not a spell, so you get plus 1d10 damage to it.
Oh, yes. Yes. That is 25 points of damage for the first hit. Shield's still up, right?
Shield is still active until the start of his turn.
Cool. 32, baby.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And you get another d10 on that.
Let's fucking go. That's 38 points. And then we are going to throw another 1d4 of fucking thunder damage in that bitch. 39 points of damage. She is at this point, her spots from when she was in Avernus, remembering everything that she's had to deal with over her life. People constantly trying to get in her mind, hurt her mentally, physically, taking all of every bit of damage type, piercing, bludgeoning, fire damage, every type of magical damage in her life, and she has stood tall. I am sick and tired of people fucking in my mind. I am Korrin the matriarch, and I will rule you, you prideful fucking slug. And you just hear thunder, all across the fucking sky, rains out when she does these attacks.
Incredible. You leave numerous, huge injuries as your action coursing with thunderous energy, slicing into Baalzebul in this divine visage, and he begins to breathe heavily, pained breaths.
Just the biggest Mama Kaiju roar of dominance, of assertion of any fucking thing she can. This is my world, and I will rule it, and you will go the fuck home.
Alright. Going to use his reaction. So he used one of his reactions this round. He's going to use his second, because he gets 2. And is going to cast Hellish Rebuke on you. Could you please roll me a dexterity saving throw, Korrin?
You have to take that second d10 of damage off because it uses my reaction, and I used it twice, so...
Got it.
So,
It was
8 points
8.
away.
Yep.
Oh, that was... yeah.
Got it.
That's okay.
Good note.
So I have advantage on dex.
Yep, danger sense.
Cool. Bet. Not the best. 11. Fuck it.
This is fire damage, for what it's worth.
Yep.
15 fire damage.
Your spirit is admirable, but this is folly. You simply do not realize it yet.
And Korrin and Shin and Kalista, before Valkyrie's turn, just because you're the ones who hear that clearest. Actually, Lorwryn, all 4 of you, could you roll me insight checks? Lorwryn with advantage.
22.
26.
I got a 15?
Yeah, I got an 18.
Okay. Kalista and Shin. You hear Baalzebul say this to Korrin. You, even after what you've been through, Kalista, even after what Jaeger has been through, you felt the tide turning. You felt that glimmer of hope. But there's something about the way he says that makes you think he still has a card yet to play. Valkerie, you're up.
So as soon as I hand off that healing potion, I take off. But while I'm running, you're going to see Valkerie start dripping blood tears because I'm pushing out the mutanogen that I had inside my body. And so I'm running, but I'm also go, ah! But she's straining so much, and she's going to push out the mutanogen, and she's going to gain back her full speed again. All right, and that's all I do for this.
Okay, you flush that mutanogen and go sprinting. You see your mentor, Rangal, approaching you. Val, stop!
I'm going to throw a dagger at him. I'm not, because I know that he's under influence. Like, this is not the Rangal I know. Who? And I just fling it at him as I'm running.
Aragorn style, knocks the dagger away.
Be smart, Val. This is lost.
Well, I guess today's the day I finally surpassed the master. And I'm going to keep running, like, as I'm going to go past him.
Rangal's sword raised, shakes his head.
I shouldn't have chosen you to stay. You're still too young. Still too naive.
We're all disappointed in each other today.
And he raises his sword ready to meet you.
Brings up Baalzebul.
With those final strikes from Korrin, he drops down from the sky, his wings just faltering for a moment, and he lands on the corner of the same rooftop where Lorwryn currently is. He lands in a kneeling position, breathing heavily, and then he takes a large gulp of air. And smiles. His breath steady as if he hadn't exerted himself at all. And then his form begins to change. It grows larger, more amorphous, the jade skin spilling out in rolls into bulbous, overflowing, tawny flesh, tinted a rotting green in places. Tumorous flesh, nearly a dozen appendages. A monstrous 20-foot-long slug-like creature. Its head, a skull, with a slug's antennae growing from both eye sockets and two more protruding from the open skull's mouth. Flies begin to buzz about it in angry hordes. And just as quickly as it took shape, it dissolves into a purple energy, a purple smoke that snakes forward and into the body of Jaeger. From the visor where orange light poured forth from this protector, purple light blasts forward, slams the trident and picks up the shield, and you hear in the resonance of Jaeger's voice, but a very different voice indeed.
This has been fun, but I think I've grown quite bored of this game.
As Baalzebul enters his second phase. Brings up Lorwryn.
Leave my friends alone. You've killed some and now you desecrate their bodies. May they dance on your grave. And she'll send 2 of the motes from the crown of stars that were still circling her head at Baalzebul. The first one That one's just gonna miss, sadly. The second one, though, will hit. 26 radiant damage.
Okay. As you impact the body of Jaeger.
I like this.
I know you do. I like it too. Kind of fun. But it really does need to be over now. If I don't kill you, one of your brothers and sisters will. They're waiting in the wings, friend. She will just she'll do her shadow step to, up on the rampart up there.
Okay. Baalzebul, at the end of your turn, having gained full control over the body of Jaeger, regaining his full capacities, is going to use a legendary action. A sphere of flame launches it at you, Lorwryn, and as he's forming it, in response to you saying, "It's time for this to be over,"
At last, we find common ground.
for 16 fire damage.
He's dead.
Down. Big distinction. As it impacts Lorwryn, and Lorwryn drops to the ground. Jaeger's head turns down to look at you, Kalista.
Last chance.
Get out of my child's body. You piece of shit.
Why don't you make me?
Oh, darling, I will.
The Clawbound continue doing what they were doing. Orion shouting at Alara to stop. Alara starting to reload the ballista on the southeast side. Violet clinging to life. Draven coming running behind you, Valkerie. And Rangol walking up to meet the two of you. As Lorwryn falls, Baalzebul is going to use a legendary action to teleport up into the air, and Jaeger's body just floating there about 60 feet in the air. You all suddenly hear the blaring, booming sound of an enormous, resonant horn, its clarion call echoing across the mountaintops. And you hear a voice echoing after it dies.
Threadwarden! We are with you!
And the bow of a 250-foot-long airship breaches the clouds. The sound of firing arcane cannons. As Kalista, you see breaching the clouds the Queen's Justice. And you see, standing at the front, Captain Maeve Stern. Impact into, or towards Jaeger, towards Baalzebul, the body of Jaeger. And Baalzebul redirects each of these force strikes from the arcane cannons, recollects them into a single sphere of force energy, and fires it back towards the airship. The airship takes 47 points of damage from their own redirected attack. as it singes the side, a small hole, but the horn once again blares as the airship comes sailing towards the ramparts.
Shin is just consumed by war. He's going to move the 60 feet so fast, and it's like, where are you going? And open his mouth, and this time, where the lightning was, something else comes out, and it's black, and it's Icarus, and it erupts out of his mouth, and he uses Augmented Breath of the Dragon for acid damage. Okay. 17 dex.
20.
That's 25 points of acid damage.
Getting to them wounds.
The breath courses over Jaeger's body, the sickening, rotten-looking purple light, and as it passes over, you feel like the body is absorbing some of the damage, and only part of it is going to Baalzebul himself.
Not good enough.
And I cast Breath of the Dragon again.
Half damage again.
24 points.
Just one continued long breath of acid pouring over the body of Jaeger, now occupied by one of the Archdevils of Hell. Anything else that you were doing, Shin?
Nope, that's it. He's just a rage monster right now.
Okay, Kalista, you are up.
Kalista is going to race towards the stairs to get to the ramparts. And she's going to use her movement as well as her action as a sprint, so she's going to make it up there. Or, I guess, technically.
You can, there is a set of, there is a ladder you can climb up that will deposit you on the ramparts, only about 15 or 20 feet behind Korrin. You are able to climb that and get all the way up to the top of the ramparts with your movement and dash.
Okay, cool.
So sick and tired of everybody fucking flying around. Everybody doesn't want to stay on the goddamn ground. Okay, so I'm gonna run, going 40 feet here, and fuck it. We're gonna yeet that motherfucker. While we're running, we're just going to kind of like Crimson Cyclone the axe and just throw it. Now, it is at 75 feet from where I'm at. I'll have to roll with disadvantage, correct? Bet. We take these hits, though. We're here for it. That's a 20. Goddamn. We're gonna take these hits. We take these hits. We do it. That's a 28.
That hits.
Nope. 24.
Oh,
Disadvantage. That was my second attack. Yep. 24.
24, just as well. 24 hits.
No, 23 is 24.
Is he
23.
going to use anything? Nah, he wants to save his reactions. So that hits.
Oh.
So that'll be 19 points of damage.
Incredible. Okay, Valkerie, you're up.
I want to do something really anime.
Bring it on. I'm here for it.
You fucking
So
weed this bow.
Val's pushed out one mutagen. She's gonna bonus action, take another mutagen out of her pocket, and shoot it back like a shot. Essentially, it's gonna start as it courses through her body. The tears that were blood tears turn to black, and her entire eye and the skin around it, like the veins turn black, and her skin is already very, very pale because she's a damn fear. And so she's got some wicked eyeshadow going on from inside her body. But also she sees Rhaengal there, and she doesn't even want to try to meet him because she doesn't want to take the time. So she can spider walk, and I'm just going to spider dash on the side of the wall to avoid him. I'm dashing, and I can go 110 because my mutagen gives me 15 extra.
Oh!
Yes, you can. Let's do it.
Can.
For that very epic idea, take a luck point. I love that. As Rangel just like sees you do this and comes running towards the edge of the ramparts, and the way he shouts, "No, Val!" It isn't anger. It isn't chastising. It's fear of a parent for a child. His mind has absolutely been corrupted by Baalzebul right now. But his love for the Clawbound is still what drives him. Did you hear the fear in his voice for you? The airship continues to steam closer to over the ramparts. And before anything else happens, it is Baalzebul's turn. Now, because of Lorwryn and that radiant damage, Baalzebul does not regenerate right now.
Better hope I don't get back up.
And because of being in this second form, his multi-attack is reduced from 3 to 2. Baalzebul moves forward, just a little bit in the air, the body of Jaeger just floating forward, no wings propelling it, simply willed forward. And from the gaps in the carapace-like armor, instead of armor-like carapace, the carapace-like armor of Jaeger that forms his body, the gaps, the visor, a swarm of flies the size of, I would say your fist, but that doesn't work for all of you. Our fists, the size of our fists in real life, flies begin to disgorge from him, and a huge 60-foot cone forward. I need a Constitution saving throw from Korrin and Shin, please.
29.
Because I rolled a 1, baby.
This first part is slashing damage. So you will take half of this, Shin, and you will take half of this, Korrin, because you're raging.
Does this count as a projectile?
Absolutely not. Though you can absolutely narratively describe catching some of the flies and crushing them as part of your resistance, 100%. But you're not throwing them back at him. All right. So each of you is taking half of this damage. So 25 slashing damage, halved and rounded up to 13. Shin, you won't take any of this next damage, and Korrin, you're going to take all of this. 22 poison damage to you, Korrin, as he uses Disgorge Insects. Now, fortunately, that is the only action he... Oh, wait, can he replace... Yes, he can replace one of his attacks with Disgorge Insects and make another attack. And so, attack he shall. This is a moment here. Okay. Shin and Korrin are the targets that are within his range that he can reach. He would have to move for Korrin, but he can still make it. Both of you have done a lot that has annoyed him. And so I'm going to leave this up to fate. Korrin, 1 or 2?
2.
If it's 2, it's you. He has 1 attack. What is your charisma sitting at right now, Shin?
3.
So if he hits, he deals charisma damage in the form of a D4, which means there's a 50% chance that Shin dies if he hits.
Insta?
If you hit 0 to any of your stats, you're not dying. You're dead.
Okay. Okay, wish it was me.
So, this attack is big. A very important moment. That is a 23 to hit. Does a 23 hit?
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Yeah, my AC is 22.
Okay. So, I'm gonna roll this. The damage. The D4 is included in there, and that's going to be the most important die rolled here, the humble D4. A 1 or a 2, Shin lives through this round. A 3 or a 4, he does not. With 28 damage, psychic, and a 4 on the D4. The impact of Jaeger's javelin into the side of your head breaks your mind. The person animating this flesh is not a person anymore. There is no will. There is no Shin. There is simply a body. A body that, with the impact, falls like a rag doll from the sky. And Shin, as you feel yourself break, and you know that this is at least an end, do you say or think anything in this moment?
As the last vestiges of his mind, the last vestiges of the monk he tried to be, the people he tried to save, the good he tried to do, corrodes. Only one thought remains. Something, a small thing that grows larger and larger. My God has abandoned. My God cares not for this world. I hate them. I hate them all.
Shin, time is a concept. One that Cairn, the eternal flame, brought into this world. But as we know it, it's a concept. It's a concept that minds can perceive. And as yours breaks, you see standing in front of you in nothingness the angelic form of Baalzebul.
I am sorry, Shin. I truly did wish to spare you that realization. I have felt the pain that you now feel. Abandonment from those that you have served loyally. I know this pain better than any pain of the flesh. And I know that right now you never believed me. But truly, I am not a gentle person. But that is a pain I would wish on no one.
Baalzebul begins to turn away because he doesn't see any response out of Shin. But then
in the small quiet. I hate you. 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 And it grows louder. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. And he explodes. The crown explodes, and a crater is left where Shin's body was, and there's no body. It's gone.
And Shin, you are unaware of that event that occurs on Ivor because you are no longer there. And as you scream this defiance, Baalzebul turns to look at you, and he shakes his head. Shin, you still have not learned your lesson. Why don't you stay here for a little while, until you have? And he departs, leaving you alone in nothingness, with nothing but company except your rage and the knowledge of your failure. That brings us to the next in the initiative order. The airship begins to sail over the ramparts, heading towards the center of the grasp. The report of the cannons echoing across the mountains here. As it gets over the ramparts, very close to where you are, Valkerie, as you make it back onto the ramparts, having run around Rangal, a rope is thrown over the side of the airship, landing on the ramparts. And you see a figure step over the side, catch the rope, and begin to slide down the rope, landing on the ramparts. Aaron, would you like to describe who we see?
Landing on the ramparts is a figure clothed in black robes, stitched in silver thread, a wrought iron staff in one hand, and a small shield in another. The hood is pushed back, revealing a half-elf with long, dark brown, almost black hair, and eyes glowing of a white smoke. And on his shield is the symbol of a... what's the word called?
Scales?
Scales. 2 silver scales. And he lands and takes in the scene around him and starts to run. And when he gets about halfway between Valkerie and Korrin and the floating Jaeger body, he's gonna slide, and his hands go out with the staff glowing a soft pale blue, and a fog rolls out towards everybody in that area, and this figure is going to cast a mass heal on everyone. As the fog now almost settles, he'll point the staff up at Baalzebul and say in a pretty even-keeled tone, but is backed by something powerful. Did you really think the gods of Ivor would stand idly by? Kalimvor does not like things tilted in such a way. And I am here to help bring the balance. And he casts heal and everybody gets a bunch of HP.
This spell that normally has a range of 60 feet, as a true servant of the divine, absent though they have felt, enters the battlefield. The range on that spell is doubled right now to 120 feet. So how are we doing this? You have 700 points of healing to distribute.
I just need 61.
You get 61? I think it's going to be more than enough.
Oh,
to top
it is more
everybody
than
off.
enough for Kalista and Korrin and Valkerie to return to max HP. And there are others here who could use it too, such as the Clawbound, like Violet.
So all of that silvery fog starts to settle down around your ankles and spread across the ramparts, rushing towards everyone that needs it and rushing up their legs and body into their mouth and eyes and revigorates them.
Yo, Kaladane's sexy. He healed us. He jumped out of the airship, healed us, and he's like, yeah.
As a servant of the divine, a long, loyal servant of the divine enters the battlefield, you all feel your life force restored to you, your wounds knit, your courage redoubled. At the end of your turn, Baalzebul uses a legendary action to teleport. And he teleports right over the airship.
Fools. This is your chance. Your one and only chance to not die alongside them. Live. Serve.
Kalista, could you make me a perception check?
That is a 19.
You see, still standing towards the front of the Queen's Justice, Captain Maeve Stern, the captain of your airship, Solstice.
I would sooner die than serve one such as you.
And with a 19, you watch a blade pierce through the captain's sternum from behind. And you see her son, the first mate of the Solstice, Samson, lean his head out from behind her.
I think you've been captain quite long enough, Mother. It's time for new leadership here.
And puts his foot against his mother's lower back and kicks her over the edge of the Queen's Justice as she falls to the ground. As the captain's body falls, crashing into one of the buildings down below, through the roof with a sickening crunch.
Oh, I do love when a plan comes together. And now, dessert has arrived.
And here, on the floating peak, on the ramparts of the grasp, Shin, dead. Lorwryn, dying.
That's where we'll close for tonight.
If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review, a comment, and share with your friends. Want to support the podcast and get some behind-the-scenes content and some extra goodies? Check out Go Buff Yourself on Patreon. Lords of Sin is Cory J. Phillips as Shin, Danielle Phillips as Valkerie, TheMalloMan as Lorwryn, Aaron as Jaeger, Matty as Kalista, Mav as Korrin, and Ethan as all the other stuff.